Kindly requested to sit down at their places so that the class can go. Hare Krishna. Today's speaker is His Grace Brajmohan Prabhu, MTech from IIT. Please kindly listen to his wisdom words from Bhagavad Gita.
Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Bhaja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Bhaja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, everyone is requested to kindly be seated. कृपया सभी बैठ जाए
हरे कृष्णा। आगे जो खड़े हैं भक्त लोग कृपया अपने जगह पे बैठ जाए। हरे कृष्णा। प्लीज बी काइंडली सीटेड।
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। We are reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 1, observing the armies, text on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, text number 9. So I'll be chanting one line and you can all repeat after me. Anye cha bahava shura, Anye cha bahava shura, Madarde tyaktva jivita, Madarde tyaktva jivita, Nana shastra praharana, Nana shastra praharana, Sarve yuddha visharadaha, Sarve yuddha visharadaha, Anye cha bahava shura, Madardye tyaktva jivita, Nana shastra praharana, Sarve yuddha visharadaha, Anye cha bahava shura. Chant little louder. Anye cha bahava shura, Madarde tyaktva jivita, Nana shastra praharana, Sarve yuddha visharadaha. We'll take the word-to-word meaning, translation and purport which are given by His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Anye, others, cha, also, bahava, in great numbers, shura, heroes, mat arte, for my sake, tyaktva jivita, prepared to risk life, nana, many, shastra, weapons, praharana, equipped with, sarve, all of them, yuddha visharadaha, experienced in military science. So this is the translation. The many other heroes who are prepared to lay down their lives for my sake. All of them are well equipped with different kinds of weapons and all are experienced in military science. Purport. As far as the others are concerned, like Jayadratha, Kritavarma and Shalya, all are determined to lay down their lives for Duryodhana's sake. In other words, it is already concluded that all of them would die in the battle of Kurukshetra for joining the party of the sinful Duryodhana. Duryodhana was of course confident of his victory on account of the above mentioned combined strength of his friends. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता विशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। लाउडर। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। फाउंटेन 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 फाउंटेन। अन्ये च भवाशूरा मदर्ध्ये त्यक्त्वा जीविता नाना शस्त्र प्रहरणा सर्वे युद्ध विशारदा। Hare Krishna, welcome to all our guests and devotees for today's Bhagavad Gita class. We have been doing verse-wise since last few weeks. The many that are coming in the evening, and darshan just doesn't happen by the eyes. Darshan, true vision comes from the ears. There was once a man who had his car broke down, and he went to the mechanic, and it was quite an expensive car, and he asked this mechanic to fix it. So this mechanic saw the car, he opened it, the front portion, he checked different parts, and then he took a hammer and he just gave a big blow at one particular spot, and the car started. And then when the billing time came, he charged $1,000. $1,000 charge kiya, or maybe 1 lakh rupees he charged, because the car itself was costing like 5 crores. So this man, the owner of the car, he was quite perplexed. ये क्या भाई साहब, एक ठोक दिया और एक टक्का मांग रहे आप. You are asking for 1 lakh. This is not fair. So the man said, for me to give the blow, I will only charge 100 rupees for giving that blow. But the rest of the 9,900 rupees is to gain the knowledge about this particular model of the car and all the so many other cars that are there in the market. For me to know where to put the blow, कहाँ पे ठोकना चाहिए, for that is the rest of the items, rest of the cost. Sometimes, when we go to a heart surgeon for some surgery, the stent will only cost like 20,000, 25,000 rupees. But the whole cost of the operation, especially the surgeon who is doing the operation, he charges like 2 to 3 lakh rupees for his fees. We may think it's unfair. Sometimes it may be. But for the knowledge that he has, the guy who is owning the car is also seeing that the car is broke down. And the mechanic is also seeing that the car is broke down. But both vision is different, because one has the vision of eyes, of knowledge. Other is having a material vision, is just seeing tin and different parts there. He is not able to understand. Same with a heart surgeon. He is able to see through the vision of knowledge where is the problem and able to fix it. So therefore, in the Vedic scriptures, philosophy is called as darshan. There are 6 types of views which we can see the world, and this is called as shad darshan. So therefore, many that come to the temple, they just see the Lord, and some tend to think that there once a man had come to one of the temples like this, and he said, I am very happy with all of your worship. So, why, sir? Did you like the dressing? No, I am seeing how well you are worshipping me here. So he is thinking that that murti that is there is me. मैं ही भगवान हूँ और मेरा पूजा कर रहे सब. A faulty vision. We are not God, we are gods. We are God's tiny parts and parcels. Or someone else may come and he may think, like there was long back, it said that one Britisher, he came to India to do some research, and there was a whole competition in Europe to undermine, to deride the Vedic practices, the Vedic ways which we do as something uncivilized. We do here some of the practices that were condemned, like why to eat with hands? Hands are very dirty. You should eat with spoon that has gone into someone else's mouth and it was not completely fully washed, and then you eat with that spoon. But these hands, they say is dirty, but that spoon which you don't know where, this hand is in your control. But eating with hands was not, even now in higher circles, or if you go to a hotel, a very up-class hotel, restaurant, and if the item comes and then you take your hands to eat, instead of all those spoon and fork and knife, people think this guy is not that civilized. So there used to be competitions back then on deriding. So one guy was passing through a river, a Britisher with his journal, and he saw a very unique sight, and he concluded these Indians are nuts. they don't know how to break rocks. These foolish guys, they are using some cloth to break a rock. And they are so dull-headed that they are trying with one cloth to break a rock, and when it's not breaking, they are taking another cloth, another size, another garment, and again trying to break the. And he wrote that back in our country, we know how to break the rocks. We use dynamites. But these poor, dull-headed Indians, they are using cloth to break a rock. So unfortunate. Now, those of us who know the technology, the Dhobi Ghat, the Indians were not breaking the rock. They were removing the dirt in the cloth by hitting against the rock. But this guy is seeing something. He's having a darshan. But because he is not trained in the purpose, in the science of that ritual, he is seeing this as meaningless rituals, something that doesn't have any purpose. But what is given in the Vedas, it's not a ritual, there is a science behind it. And when you understand the spirit behind the ritual, then it becomes spiritual. And that's why we need to sit and hear. Else, we come, we see, and there is a tradition that मंदिर जाते हैं तो थोड़ा देर बैठ के जाना चाहिए. लेकिन बैठने का बस ऐसे बैठ के मोबाइल देखो. No, sit means to sit and hear about the discussion about God that is supposed to happen in a temple. A temple is like a hospital where we go to treat our diseases. There are physical diseases, but more than physical diseases, we are more troubled by psychological, mental diseases. Some little thing just occupies our head, mind. Like yesterday only I was giving an example that a teenager gets a very common thing that happens in teenage is a pimple. And that pimple just breaks that ladies, that girls, that boys self-esteem. That इसको कैसे तो निकालना चाहिए अभी. He will try multani mitti. He will try Fair and Lovely. I don't know what all creams. Even I was a victim to that in my 9th and 10th. Trying to make my cheeks very smooth, and all these were seen at. And sometimes we try to break them, and then we say a lot of scars here. And in trying to clear all the marks that are coming on our head, we lose our marks in the paper. The focus shifts to this. And we are not worried that the body's weight kitna hai. Obesity is there, that is not being addressed, but the pimple is being focused. And little issues like this take over so much of our mind, or we become obsessed with some particular person, some habit, bad habit, not able to overcome that. A very common mental disease nowadays, especially among youth, is overthinking. कि ऐसा करूँगा तो कैसा होगा? नहीं, ऐसा नहीं होगा, वैसा होगा, ऐसा होगा, ऐसा होगा. And then he becomes paralyzed. Paralysis by analysis. And a part of that happens in Gita also. Arjuna does overthinking. इतना सोचता है, सोच के लगता है कि मैं अभी थक गया, I'll not fight only. So, the Gita, it presents us amazing insights into human psychology, the struggles, the insecurities that we all face. through the story of someone else, so it's easier for us to accept. अगर कोई हमको ही बोलेगा तो हम मानेंगे नहीं, we will not accept. It's said that हमारा खुद का bad smell in our mouth, usually we can't find out. Someone else has to tell. Or if our armpits are stinking, someone else usually has to tell. We cannot, the same way our own limitations, faults, many times we are not able to see. So in the scriptures, through stories, which are true stories, it's not that they are imaginary stories. Through true stories, we get an insight of the inner battle that's happening. And we also get to know which all battles we should fight and which all battles we should just ignore. Because अगर हम हमारे जीवन में, if we start to fight every battle and try to prove to everyone that how we are better, then we are going to become drained out very easily. Shri Radha Gopinath ki, Shri Gopal ji ki, Shri Gaur Nitai ki, Samveta Guru Bhakta Vrinda ki. So here in this particular shloka, Duryodhana's mindset is being revealed. Duryodhana is coming across as a very confident person, but he is highly insecure about the team that he is having. And he comes to his gurus, Dronacharya, Bhishma, to try to put a vote of confidence that all of you are very capable to win this battle. You are all there with well equipped, and compared to you, the opponents are weak, are limited in their strengths. And there is a very typical mindset, selfish mindset that we see in this shloka, where he says, Madarde tyaktva jivita, that all of you are willing to give up your life for my sake. If they have a trouble, you can take them down and you can hear on YouTube. YouTube पे भी आएगा khatha, so you can hear on YouTube. So rest of the audience can pay attention. So once there was a boss, a senior employer, who came in a very expensive car. And when he got out, one of his juniors, he saw him. He saw him and he said, Sir, very impressive. Where did you buy this car? And he said that, so you like this car? So yes, sir. So if you work hard, if you complete the deadlines, if you put more effort into your work, the next year I can buy a better car. He's only thinking about himself. Or there is another joke that's said that once a man was passing by, a very rich man, and he saw few poor people were eating grass that was growing on the roadside. लोग घास खा रहे थे. So he stopped his car. He came out and he said, Why are you eating grass? He said, Sir, we are so poor. We don't have enough food to eat. तो हम घास खा रहे. No, this is not good. Get into my car. So They all felt very happy that somebody noticed our pitiable condition and is wanting to help us. And they said that we have our wives also who are eating grass little in the woods. Can I get them also? Yeah, get them also. And as he boarded everyone into his car, and as he was going, he said that, no, you'll all be very happy in my home because I have a lot of grass that is growing in the lawn. And you can all know, I will have a free lawn moving service. आपका खाना भी हो जाएगा और मेरा घास भी खड़ जाएगा. So many times, people who are in leadership position, people who are supposed to be thinking about others' welfare, they are so self-centered. They are only thinking, how can I benefit from this person or this situation for my sake? And these kind of oriented, Duryodhana is such a leader who is thinking, how can I manipulate my subordinates? How can I extract the best in them for my benefit? Even if it means that they have to end their lives. मदर्दे त्यक्तो जीविता, अगर उनको जान भी देना पड़ेगा लेकिन मेरे कंपनी को ऊपर उठाना चाहिए. That they should be willing to give their blood, the last drop of their blood, to make the company profitable. And there are motivational talks, seminars in the introduction. When I was at IIT Bombay during my BTech, I used to get, employers who used to use these kinds of words that who is the best employee? One who, moment he gets up in the morning, the first thought is about the project. That how can the project be benefited? So, Duryodhana is portraying a mindset called as project-oriented leadership. That the project is so important and people are just tools for you. That you love things so much that you want to use people to get the thing that you want to get. And contrast to that is Arjuna in the same chapter, who is saying same word, Madardye Tyakto Jivita. He doesn't use the same word but the same intention. कि मेरे लिए लोग जान क्यों देना चाहिए? Duryodhana is saying, for my sake they are willing to give up their lives. But Arjuna is saying, for my sake, why should they be giving up their lives? So more than his own accomplishment, Arjuna is thinking about their well-being, people's well-being. And that's why Pandavas were more qualified, because they were people-oriented leaders. They were not project-oriented. That so much focus about the project that people's welfare is not considered. Although Duryodhana has this acumen to know that what kind of people are needed for a task, project to be completed. He says 3 characteristics here, 3 things. One is that they should be Shura. Shura means daring. Only those people who are willing to take risks can actually win in the battle of life. If you're always, if I take a step towards Krishna or take a step in my life, you're overthinking what will happen. Then those kinds of, people will always, there will be 10 reasons to backstep, then take a forward step. Therefore, Shuratva, being heroic, And Duryodhana had garnered, gathered such people who were truly heroic. Now, the kind typical hero that we kind of call in the movies, they're not really taking risks. They have dupes. Long back, I had seen this, one clip where a very popular hero was walking across the track as the train was coming. And many, people saw this. Cha heroism hai. That the train is coming, but this guy is so heroic that he just crosses across the track. And many tried to imitate that scene and they were killed. And later they released the computer generated graphics, all those the back end scenes. There was no train when he was crossing the track. All that was there was a green screen. So there was this green screen, there was no risk in his life. He just crossed the track safely. And then later they shoot the train coming. And then they couple with graphics. And it appears to be what a hero. That he gave one punch and this guy is having 5 oscillations in the air. And then he bounces on the wall and then he comes back with 5 oscillations and falls on the ground. And you think, what a hero. But that's all, fake kind of heroism. And true heroes are those who are actually at the battle front, like on Kargil or Siachen, who are truly risking their lives for the sake of the country. So so he Anyecha Bhava Shura. So he has such people who are there, heroic, but just being daring is not sufficient. You also need to have proper instruments to fight the opponent. Typically, we see that kind of, dilemma. Long back, when this terrorist attacks had happened, those terrorists had come with latest advanced weapons, AK-47, 98 and whatnot. And, Mumbai police, they had, not all had, very advanced, especially those that were just posted in different places. They had these Sten guns, these things that could only shoot 1 or 2 bullets at a time. So you also need to be equipped. Along with the willingness to take risk, they were also equipped with lot of weaponry. So he also had a lot of instruments. And not just instruments, but they were also very experienced in using those instruments. If a new guy is given a very advanced camera, or you are given access to Adobe Photoshop or Premiere Pro, कि यहाँ पे बहुत सारे tools है. Now an expert also has all these tools, and a new guy may also have the tools. You also need to know how to use those tools. Skill, training is also needed. So for someone to be a Kshatriya, a warrior, there has to be that heroism in the heart. There has to be that training. And there has to be enough, he has to be properly equipped. But the most important is the motivation, which was lacking in the Kaurava side. The motivation was very unorganized. Each one was differently motivated. किसी कोई अपने बच्चे के लिए लड़ रहा है, कोई अपने व्रत के लिए लड़ रहा है. And even before the battle, Duryodhana knows that his entire team is not together. Therefore, he is coming and he is motivating. Sometimes you go to some parties, some places where everyone is so calmly doing everything, you don't even come to know who is the head there, who is the lead manager there, who is the person behind the show. Because everything is working so smoothly as if there is no head. And then you go to some places and this guy is literally firefighting. वो इधर जाके चिल्ला रहा है, उधर जाके चिल्ला रहा है. He's shouting here because nobody is hearing to his instructions. Nobody is truly aligned or believes in what he wants. So Pandavas, they were all so aligned that Arjuna did not had to go and pep them up. There was no need for a pep talk. But Duryodhana, he is going and giving this pep talk and telling them that you are all so great, you are all so experienced, that and you are all so committed कि मेरे लिए आप लोग जान देने के लिए भी तैयार हैं. But that didn't motivate them. We are motivated by people who are our well-wishers, not who are our well-pushers. कुछ लोग हैं जो हमारा भलाई चाहते हैं और कुछ लोग उनके भलाई चाहते हैं, and they are making us a tattoo, a instrument for their welfare. And Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada says this, that unconsciously Duryodhana is predicting the fate of all these soldiers, all these warriors, that because you're all fighting for me, you're all going to die. Madardye tyakto jivita. That because you're working, fighting for a selfish cause which I am having, you're all going to end your lives, no matter how skillful you are. And we see this contrast. Krishna always takes a very apparently weak team and he wins with that weak team. In Ramayana also. No? He fought with a set of monkeys. Now monkeys are known to be most unpredictable. But he could motivate an entire army of monkeys with one cause. And for a cause that they didn't even haven't seen. It said that at the end of the battle, when Ravana was killed, then Hanumanji was told that go and tell Vibhishana to go and bring Sita if she is willing to come. And then when Vibhishana is bringing Sita outside, all these monkeys, after such a hard fight, almost losing their lives and again coming back alive, they're all kind of buzzing to catch a glimpse of Sita, thinking that ये कौन है स्त्री जिसके लिए हमने इतना बड़ा लड़ाई किया? Who is this lady? Because they were also having this thought, even Hanumanji was having this thought, that who is this lady after whom Ramji is so feeling such separation that he is willing to fight an entire battle. And said all the monkeys, when they saw the loyalty, beauty, sincerity of Sita Devi, then they all thought it was worth the fight to save such a great lover of Ram. And long back when I had met a Kargil veteran. He had lost his leg during the battle. And I was giving a youth talk, and he also had come. And he said one thing which really inspired me. He said that we save lives, we give our lives, but be worthy to give our lives. But that don't waste your lives, don't live your lives in such a way that हम किसके लिए जान दे रहे हैं, हमको sorry नहीं लगना चाहिए. That it was worth because they were wanting to practice dharma, because they were wanting to really grow themselves internally, externally, that it was worth to save such a person. Otherwise, they are fighting and losing their lives, but we are fighting amongst ourselves, or we are fighting for the wrong things, or getting into wrong bad habits. So here in Duryodhana somehow had garnered a support of more people than the Pandavas could, because he was in power. Duryodhana was in power for 14 years, and he made different schemes. If people supported him, then he was offering a lot of free services, a lot of free goods. That mujhe vote dalo, then you will get these facilities. Whereas Pandavas were not luring any of their team members, any of the people that were with them, with some candies. They were purpose driven. That the purpose is to protect dharma and to fight for your rightful inheritance. And those who supported that such cause of dharma for their own benefit and for the world's benefit, they were on the side of Arjuna, and therefore they didn't need any pep talk. But here in this series of verses, we see a aspect called as SWOT analysis, where Duryodhana is analyzing his strengths, weaknesses, his opportunities and threats. And apparently he thinks this is his greatest strength, that people can die for his projects, but he doesn't know that is his greatest weakness, that he is not valuing people. बहुत companies में ये रहता है ना, he's seeing humans as a resource, HR department, human resource department. But humans are not resource. They are human relationships. If relationships are nice, they'll go the extra yard to work for that person. Like here in Prabhupada used to say, that what am I paying my devotees? That these rich, they are coming from rich families, and hardly I am paying anything to them. And what are the facilities that I am giving? But somehow they are so glued to me that they want to work for this mission to spread Krishna consciousness. So it was not, by giving some kind of profits, benefits, but because Prabhupada was such a well-wisher for them, that he valued people. And for the sake of people, we have to develop some projects, some ways to engage them. So then we have done different initiatives, but not at the cost of human welfare or people's welfare. But that's not in the consciousness of Duryodhana here. Therefore he is saying that both log hai, anye cha bhava shura, that they are willing to give up their life, which is not how a true leader should think. A true leader like Arjuna, Yudhishthir, they think that for their sake, I am willing to give my life. That if in success I will put them ahead, and in failure, I will go ahead. And no, and so therefore, two sides of the coin which we see of human psychology. One is very selfishly motivated, like Duryodhana, and another is that of Arjuna, which will come to see in the upcoming verses weekly that we are going to take. And now, if there are any questions about today's discussion, we can take after an announcement that monthly or bi-monthly, once in 2 months, we do a course here in the temple called as Sutras for Self-Discovery or Journey of Self-Discovery, where we take you to the basics of the Bhagavad Gita in a short time, in 3 or 6 sessions, like a weekend course, so that when you come to the Bhagavad Gita, you can go much deeper than if you start directly. Because once you understand the concepts, then when you read the book, then the message becomes even more strong. So we do this course called as the Sutras for Self-Discovery, Journey of Self-Discovery, every once in a month or once in 2 months. So the next course is at the end of March, 24th, 25th, 26th. The 3 topics that we take are happiness and purpose, the 5 sutras for happiness, good and God. Isn't it sufficient to just be good? Why do we need God in life? 5 sutras for being a good person. What defines to be a good person? And Gita and life. 5 essential sutras from the Bhagavad Gita to apply in our life. So this is a course that is going to come up, and we have our devotees, volunteers at the back who are with pamphlets. So if you are interested to register yourself, please do take out your time to make this a true beginning into inner discovery. As Mark Twain says, the 2 most important days in our life is the day we are born and the day we know why we are born. Why are we struggling without knowing what is the purpose for which I am living my life? Is it just to die rich? Or is it just leave something for others? What is the true purpose? Why am I living? And when we don't know that, when we make some short temporary purpose, when it doesn't get fulfilled, then we become so baffled, so morose. So when you get to know the message of the Gita in a short nutshell, you can apply. Like every stream has now crash courses. Like once a foreigner had come to Dadar station, and there is that Wheelers, a bookstall, and he picked up a book, and when he saw the topic of the book, he fainted. And when he was woke up, said, "Sir, why did you faint?" Said, "I am a doctor, and I saw this book, become a doctor in 30 days. अपने डॉक्टर स्वयं बने in 30 days. So I fainted that I wasted 10 years of my life. I should have come to the other station and bought this book." So, sometimes we are kind of cheated about wisdom, that take this, take that, but better than that is take to Bhagavad Gita, with which we actually get to know the true wisdom by which we can apply to truly be happy. So please do register for that course. And if there are any questions, we can take. Otherwise, now we'll all be preparing our consciousness by doing kirtan for Shayan Darshan. At 8:50, the Lord will again be giving his darshan in his night outfits, beautifully dressed. Please do wait for that if you have not attended Shayan Darshan. And in the meanwhile, you can interact with the devotees there for the course. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki.